Welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another very exciting episode of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 101. And at the time of this recording, we are exactly 1 full month away until the worldwide release of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 on October 20th, which not only shows the amazing journey we've all been on ever since the game was initially revealed all the way back in 2021, but it also displays just how shockingly close we all are to the game's full release. And trust me, as someone who is actually lucky enough to get their hands on the game themselves, I can guarantee you right here and now that you will not be disappointed. And as a way to prove that notion, for today's video, I did want to go over some brand new PS5 features that will be incorporated into Marvel's Spider-Man 2, as well as highlighting a very special announcement from Insomniac Games themselves. So if you're someone like me who's counting down the days until October 20th arrives, then definitely be sure to flip that like button and subscribe to the channel for any major Marvel Spider-Man 2 news and updates. So to kick things off with a bang, everybody, is that Insomniac Games officially confirmed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has gone gold, which, in case you're someone who's unfamiliar with that term, is that means that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has 100% completed its development, and that the game's final build is ready to be made into copies to be shipped worldwide to fans, which once again shows just how crazy it's been ever since this game was initially revealed all the way back in September of 2021 to now having the game be exactly 1 month away. And I for one just can't thank you all enough for going on this journey with me. But as a fun way to actually celebrate this announcement is that we did receive a video from Insomniac with the main cast members of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, with none other than Yuri Lowenthal, Najee Jeter, Laura Bailey, and Tony Todd to celebrate this once-in-a-lifetime occasion. And knowing that we're all going to be greater together by the time October 20th rolls around, that is truly going to be a day of celebration for die-hard Spider-Man fans everywhere. And I for one just can't wait for all of you to experience this greatness for yourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, the news is official. It has happened. The time is now. Not bronze, not silver, but gold. Spider-Man 2 is gone gold, baby. That's right. That's right, you heard it? I'm gonna tell the whole world. Hold on. Everyone, Spider-Man 2 is gone gold!
That means it's that much closer to getting into your faces and brains and bodies.
I just want to say that I love you, and I'm so stoked for this game, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it.
Congratulations to everybody in Insomniac who put this together, and I guess now all we have left is for you to get the game and play it.
We're gonna edit some webs in there. We are Venom. We are gold. That's right. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, in stores, October 20th.
But alongside of that Gone Gold announcement, we also received even further details from PlayStation directly, where they did go on to fully break down in another PlayStation blog article as to what we can expect with all the various PS5 features that will be incorporated into the game, stating that ray tracing in both performance and fidelity modes, quick swapping between two Spideys, rendering a huge living city, and more. Insomniac Games is unleashing the power of the PS5 for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Where unlocking new powers is something the developers of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 have in common with their web-slinging protagonists. Insomniac Games is unleashing the power of PlayStation 5 in the upcoming sequel with 2 playable superheroes wielding new abilities, a gallery of menacing supervillains, a city nearly doubled in size, and a host of other immersive enhancements. Where to begin with the PS5's haptics and cinematic immersion is that the preview opens with Peter in his new black suit facing off against Craven amidst church rafters. A massive bell tolls, sending impactful and reverberating ripples through the DualSense controller haptics. The resonant haptic sensation sells the bell's disruptive effect on the twitching black suit. Cutscenes with the massive stampeding lizard are also accented by intense haptic pulses, emulating the nerve-jangling might of the mutating supervillain. And for me personally, I already really thoroughly enjoyed the DualSense features that were incorporated into Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales Morales. But after my hands-on time with Marvel's Spider-Man 2, it really shows just how further improved Insomniac have become when it comes to incorporating all the PS5 features into the DualSense's abilities, which is really gonna start making things feel even more immersive by the time we fully play through the game's story. Now, to continue with the DualSense controller, we're now moving on to particle colliding with adaptive triggers, where one moment early in the preview tasks Peter with helping Harry Osborn align a particle collider's beam emitters. A brief minigame appears when Spider-Man webs the emitters. I enjoyed carefully pressing the adaptive triggers with asymmetrical levels of pressure, and watching on-screen prompts to correctly lock them into place. It's a satisfying and novel example of the trigger's accuracy and tactile feedback. And yeah, after playing through that sequence for myself, that was easily one of the most unique examples of seeing the DualSense be featured within a PS5 exclusive. And speaking of this game's PS5 exclusivity, that clearly directly pertains to its near-instant loading times and thanks to the SSD, where in relation to the game's brand new traversal mechanic is that the web wings give players a new option to soar over the city. The power of PS5 allows Marvel's New York City to load in faster than previous titles. This translates to speedier movement throughout the city, including boosting along wind tunnel routes at impressive speeds using the new web wings. But don't worry, because Spidey's tried and true web swinging is also faster and feels as joyful as ever. Weaving together the traditional web swinging with the new web wings gliding created an empowering and buttery smooth way to traverse the city. And alongside of exploring the city, we also have the ability to quickly swap between both Spider-Men, where to elaborate just a bit further as to what we've already seen in the recent overview trailer is that players have two Spideys at their fingertips in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and swapping between them is a snap. The game zooms far above to a bird's eye view of Marvel's New York City when switching between the two heroes, then zooms back in on the newly selected Spider-Man elsewhere in the city. It's a seamless and muscular demonstration of the PS5's ultra-fast SSD. And like I already previously mentioned with my hands-on impressions of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, is that the overall speeds in which you can travel in this game are pretty much doubled in comparison to Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, which really shows just how much Insomniac is flexing when it comes to pushing the PS5 to its limits. And of course, knowing that we're going to be receiving GTA 5 style transitions between Peter and Miles is easily going to be one of the biggest and most memorable features within this game. But speaking about the devs flexing on this game, is that we now move on to rippling musculature, where Insomniac is upping the realism of their character models with simulated musculature. This subtle enhancement makes character movement look more natural to the eye, similar to the improvements in facial capture. For example, you'll see arm muscles bulge or stretch beneath the superhero's skin-tight suits, or the jaw muscles of Lizard flex convincingly when bellowing a roar. And in the case of facial animations, is that facial performances unite with enhanced character model detail to deliver new levels of expression. For example, a heart-to-heart between Miles and Rio wordlessly showcases the concern and love his mother holds for him. It's all in the eyes. Realistic levels of ocular detail heighten expression, like visible capillaries, moistened eyelids, minute eye movements, and nuanced lighting. Emotionally intense scenes benefit from the upgraded facial enhancements as well. Just take one look against Kraven's expressive face as he battles against Spidey, his eyes wide and piercing as his face contorts in intense cunning. And speaking of Kraven the Hunter, this now brings us to listen up with 3D audio. Insomniac's audio team implements 3D audio in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 with impressive attention to detail. The immersive effects are omnipresent, but two specific sequences stood out to me. A massive bell tolls during a sequence where a black suit-clad Peter squares off with Kraven in a church. The resonant frequency of the bell hits with a convincing punch. Another moment is more gameplay focused, with the player crawling after Lizard through New York sewers. The claustrophobic sequence is heightened by a 360-degree range of sounds, including creaky pipes, crumbling rubble, and the occasional skittering of the Lizard himself. And honestly, everybody, what else is there to say about all this news other than in Insomniac we trust? And for me, during my hands-on experience with Marvel's Spider-Man 2, is that I was always thoroughly engaged with the story that Insomniac is telling when both Peter and Miles were out of their suits. Even though it's not shown in this B-roll footage, I was able to experience a cutscene between Peter talking to Harry. And in that moment, I was honestly able to feel the genuine performances coming from Yuri Lowenthal and Graham Phillips, who were playing Peter Parker and Harry Osborn respectively, and really did a great job of showcasing just how close close Peter and Harry are as best friends, which is only managing to do a great job of further captivating me within this game's larger story, which I for one just can't wait to see how it will fully play out. Now, even though I already thoroughly discussed this news in a previous 101 video, we did receive a bit more insight from this PS blog as to how much detail Insomniac is incorporating within their open world. And as it states with spectacular ray tracing, is that both performance and fidelity modes feature ray tracing in Marvel's Spider-Man 2 thanks to the title launching exclusively on PS5. The effect is immediately apparent when swinging or gliding across the water. One beautiful moment involved traversing over the East River, with the setting sun casting a warm glow over the water, including the reflection of the Brooklyn skyline and a splash of hazy red from one of its large neon signs. Especially when it comes to exploring the brand new updated Marvel's New York map with Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn, you're really gonna have a wonderful time taking in all the sights that the city has to offer. And in regards to the city, we do have two more sections within the article that does break down some of the biggest highlights as to what the open world provides. Whereas we already know is that this game's Marvel's New York is going to be double the size in comparison to Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, stating that Spider-Man's turf extends beyond Manhattan to include Brooklyn and Queens in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. In previous Marvel Spider-Man games, these areas weren't accessible, and were simply low-poly representations of the wider city. The sequel's doubled map size is possible in part due to the PS5, as is the game's ability to render the sprawling metropolis at a greater distance. Standing atop a Manhattan skyscraper, you can clearly see the shapes and colors of Brooklyn's traversable skyline. But what's most important is what relates to the game's bustling city life, where Spider-Man is nothing without a city to protect. And Marvel's New York is livelier than ever. New York pedestrians are represented by a more diverse array of body types, and enter and exit buildings. They drive down streets in vehicles that display the subtle and authentic bobbing motion of automotive suspension systems. In past Marvel Spider-Man titles, players could peep into building windows for a glimpse at decorated interiors. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 heightens the detail with actual occupants. These small details help build a rich city backdrop that feels alive. Without a single doubt in my mind, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was easily a game that was made from the ground up to run exclusively on the PlayStation 5 console. And if all these major details were only a glimpse as to what we can expect in the final game come October 20th, this game is easily shaping up to be a must-play title if you are a PlayStation 5 owner, and obviously is a can't-miss title for any die-hard Spider-Man fan. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for all you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of all these crazy PS5 details for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and how hyped are you in knowing that the game has finally gone gold? Let me know what you think. Be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel Spider-Man 2 content like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and until next time, peace out.